Today in my video or screencast to my part one self, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Canva and how to use Canva, which is a free graphic design tool that has changed my life. I love graphic design and I love making posters, and I've been using in the past Google Draw or Pages or Word or even a Google presentation, a Google slide to create posters, and nothing is as beautiful and slick as Canva. And a student actually told me about this resource in September, and I've been using it all year. The nice thing about Canva is if you work at a Google school board, you can just sign up with your Google account and it will sync the two, which is really nice for students in terms of digital security. You don't have to get them to add any extra details. And in order to log in, it knows me. So this is my Canva homepage. So when you're in Canva, at the top it says Create a Design, and you can click over here on More, and you'll notice there are all kinds of design templates to choose from. This page isn't the templates, this is just the style. So do you want a presentation? This year I used the resumes here with my grade 8 students. They created resumes that would stand out in a crowd and through here. And you don't have to worry that what you pick, if you look at something and you're like, oh, I don't like the look of that, I don't like the look of that, I'd like this to be this type of font, that's okay because everything is 100% customizable, which is so cool. I'm going to show you how to create Google website banners. So I created a site in Google Sites and I did my banners. And I used a Twitter post. I just found that the size of pixels seemed to be closest to the size for that Google banner. It's not perfect, but it was the closest until Canva actually gets a Google header. So today I'm going to go into Twitter post. And once you go in, this is the fun part, on the left it has all kinds of different layouts. And you can choose one that you like and work from there. Sometimes you'll find one that's absolutely perfect and you can just put in your own picture and text and move on. And sometimes you'll find one that you might need to tweak a little bit. So this is a nice simple one, this Explore, but as you can see there are tons. They all should say free here, and that's the ones you should use. Otherwise, if you find one like this that doesn't say free, it is paid, and that means you can't download it onto your computer unless you buy those paid elements to keep the file, because there are copyrighted images there. So I just avoid any of the ones that are paid, and I've never run into trouble. I've been able to do anything I want. So today I'm going to show you this. So Explore over here this is now our canvas where we are working. You can increase the percentage. I like to have it a little bit bigger so I can see the detail and it's easier to click things. Sometimes if it's an infographic or something with lots of text boxes, I will sometimes go to 100 or 200%. So if you find you're frustrated with all the clicking, I find down here increasing the percentage really helpful. So one of the first things that you can do is to change the text. And so what I did, for example, for my website headers was I had one for every module that we did in IITCI, and I would want to put a background picture in that's my own. So you'll see here you can upload things. So I would upload images using Pixabay to make sure they were images that were free to use. So often when I'm working in Canva, I have Pixabay open in another window so I don't have to worry about copyright. And if I wanted a picture about ideas or creativity, and see if there's something that I like here. This light bulb one is really cool. So when you open it, you can two-finger tap and save the image as. In my computer here, the images are just saved to go to the desktop. That might be different on your computer. And once you've done that, if you go back to Twitter, you can upload your own image. And then I will go to my desktop. And bear with me, I have lots of things in my desktop, but here it is. And I'm going to double click it to select it, and then it's going to come down here and there's a little progress bar. Once it's uploaded here, and this is telling you that it's uploading, you can take it and drag it. And this is where you sort of have to play with dragging it around. Sometimes it doesn't get sucked right up into the background, and then just let it go and it will position itself perfectly. Sometimes you'll find that when you put images in, the colors are wrong. So you'll say, weird, that this image should be black and white, why is it green? Some of the templates have what's called a filter on them. And if you go to advanced options here, the filters, you can even put a tint on it. So if you see, I can put a tint on it to change it. So if you're noticing that your color isn't true, if you go into the filter here and you can adjust it back to the middle, it will be the color that it should be. So yeah, that's a little bit of fine tuning. The other nice thing about Canva is that if you ever do anything you're not happy with, you can always undo, which is kind of a nice function up here, the undo and the redo. And I'm noticing that my module 1 color doesn't really look great against the white background. So up here is this box, and you can click it to change the color of anything. So you can make it. And I play around for hours doing this. And you can also here change the font. So I like this cool style of calligraphy font, but there's all kinds of fonts in here that you could change it to depending on your look or what you were going for. And the nice thing is it changes it relatively quickly, so you can go through and see the differences in the fonts. This is another nice one as well. Maybe you notice that in this you'd also like to add your name. So over here are all the things you can add. So I would add text. You can add a simple subheading or a small heading. So I'll show you, you add a subheading. And this you can just click until the 4 directional arrows come up, and you can drag it around anywhere you want. So if you don't want subheading, obviously up there you want your name down here, you can add it down here. You double click and you'll come into the text box, and then you can add your name. And just like where you went last time, this color wheel, you can go here and select a color for your name, for your font, and you can do the same thing. You can highlight it and then you can change the font. If you want the font size different, that's the number button here, so you can increase or decrease the size. The other cool thing you can do here is you can add elements. And in the elements you can add, they have some free photos within Canva that you can add without going to Pixabay. And there are lots of nice ones in there, and when you get to the bottom of the list, they are paid. You can also add, what am I using a lot of? I use a lot of icons. Even the icons are completely customizable, so there are lots of free icons. So if you think, oh, I'd really like to have a brain here for this module, you just click it, and you can resize it to whatever size you want, and you can even rotate it all the way around, or I've added 2. So I'm going to click on this one, so that all 4 of the dots are illuminated, and hit my delete key and it will go away. And this one I might come up here, is the color, and I can go, I would actually like this, a color that matches a little bit better my text or stands out, whatever the case may be. Even images that have multicolors in them, you can change every single color. So that's very cool. And under elements, there are also shapes and lines that are sometimes nice. So if you go into lines, no matter whether you're doing an invitation or you just want some type of a cool line, you can add it. And again, you can change the colors of everything to have them match the rest of your design, and you can even increase the sizes of the lines by pulling and dragging on the 2 different sizes. It's absolutely amazing what you can do with Canva. In the elements, there are also illustrations, and you can put frames on pictures. So the illustrations, again, you can change every single color in here. So if you want, for some reason, this popsicle, all the colors in the popsicle appear here. So if you think, oh, I don't want red, I want purple, and it changes it, which is phenomenal. And that's the thing that I've really found fun about this, is that it's so customizable. The other element that sometimes I use is frames. So for example, if you had a picture and you wanted to put a frame around it, you could. Some of the frames even look nice as text boxes. What you can do here as well is you could delete the text, and if you see there's an arrange, I can put that at the back and bring my name to the front. And again, with my text, I could bring that to the front and then delete the back. And I know that that doesn't look very pretty, but you get the idea of what you can do and just how robust Canva is for a free program. I like playing around with different types of text. So you could add text in any of these patterns. And again, none of the colors are set in stone. So you can do whatever you want with them. And I mean, you could use this for anything. For posters, for my Learning Commons, I've made tons of posters for the drop boxes. I have made lots of things for students for handouts just to make things nicer, or assignments or rubrics. There's so much you could do. Invitations, thank you cards, amazing options of things you can do. So you can click on anything you want and add it. And again, all of the colors are totally customizable. Texts are customizable, and you can delete. Once you have something you're happy with, you can download it. And there are different file types. So there's PNG file types, which they recommend. For the Google sites, I actually find that the JPEG image size works best. If you're doing something you are going to print, like a resume, I do recommend the PDF print or the PDF standard, depending on who you're sending it to. It's nice because anyone can open a PDF, but I usually save the JPEG, and then you click download. It's smart, it'll auto-save the title to whatever first piece of text you write is. Otherwise, you can change the title, and your design's ready and downloading. And then, so it's module 1, but if you wanted to give it a different title, you could by clicking on the title and changing the title. You can also make it public and give people a link to view it if you wanted to do that. And you can link it to external websites. I personally don't use that function. You can change, that's to change the transparency of images. So you see the image I put in will become more and more transparent. Sometimes that's a nice effect if you want to fade out the background so the text becomes a little bit heavier. You can center text in text boxes, italicize. There's all kinds of things you can do. It's absolutely phenomenal, and you can even add another page. So if you wanted to do all your website banners in this same style, you could just do them here, and then you would just have to download them one page at a time. Otherwise, it zips the file for you. And if I want to find the file in my computer, they go to downloads, and that was titled module 1. So you see I have a bazillion downloads, and there's the old ones I did for module 1, and here's the one I did today. So I could take it from here and put it into my Google site by adding it as a picture, or I could add it as an attachment to an email, embed it in a website or a blog, or print it out, whatever the case may be, but it's there and saved. So that's my brief little tutorial about using Canva, and you can click on Canva if you want at any time to go back to your home page. And yes, it will be saved because it has a title, and you'll go back to your home page and see everything that you have made in Canva. And that's my little tutorial. So hopefully you give Canva a try and introduce your students to it. I can't give Canva enough praise. I give it 10 out of 10. It is all that I've ever dreamed of in a free graphic design tool. Thank you.